Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Newsroom. I'm your host, Omar Khalid. Today is the 31st of October 2023. Another month comes to an end, but we've got lots to discuss with you before the new month begins tomorrow. We'll continue without further ado. Our first story, ladies and gentlemen, concerns Israel-Palestine, the little place called Gaza that has become a battlefield as far as Israel is concerned. As if we go by the casualties, over 8,500 people have been killed. Palestinians, I'm not talking of Israelis, Palestinians have been killed in Gaza since the 7th of October. Majority of those are children. When countries such as Israel or other countries talk of human rights, they conveniently forget what is happening in Palestine as far as the brutalities being perpetrated by Israel is concerned. What happened with Hamas or by Hamas is just a pretext that is now being used by Israel to do exactly what happened to them after the Second World War. We'll be highlighting that and more in our first story. Our second story, ladies and gentlemen, concerns the date for the repatriation of the illegal foreigners, illegally present foreigners in Pakistan. Today is the last day, and of course tomorrow was the deadline, the 1st of November. Tomorrow is going to be tomorrow the deadline is going to be over. So of course there is going to be a phased repatriation on 1st of November onwards, but of course a lot of illegal foreigners have left the country on their own free will. The Prime Minister has also stressed that this deadline of the 1st of November is not going to be extended. The international community has also been urged to address refugee situation along with Pakistan. This is going to be our second story. Then we are going to talk about pandemics. We've witnessed a huge pandemic in the form of COVID-19. Now a very important report that has come out talks about the future pandemics that could happen across the world and how the world is not really ready about what would happen if another pandemic like COVID-19 strikes the world or strikes any part of the world. There is a call for a fund of around $10 billion to prevent such pandemics. Although we see there's a large trust deficit, the whole world more or less did come together when it was time for COVID-19, but now after COVID-19 and now in the new regional or global dynamics which involves many conflicts, the interest of the world towards pandemics and treating pandemics has kind of waned away. We're going to highlight that in our third story. And final story concerns climate. Climate change is something that we've been highlighting many a times over the last few years in this very show as well. Now a report says that the world is approaching critical climate threshold by 2020. Now we've been highlighting about the 1.5 degrees centigrade increase in temperatures. A lot of people are saying the 1.5 degrees centigrade is no longer the threshold. It's going to be much more than that as well. The climate budget is also running out and urgent action is needed by the world bodies. But well, again, coming back to the whole geopolitical situation in the world, will the world pay heed to this? Will it pay heed to any pandemic that could happen in the future as well? These two stories are extremely important in the current geostrategic and geopolitical arena. Let's begin with our first story, and that concerns Gaza, Israel, Palestine, what is happening. The world, the United Nations Security Council that met the United Nations General Assembly that passed a resolution, but of course Israel denounced that. Not only did it denounce it, but it also denounced the United Nations as an organization, saying that the United Nations was not doing the work that it had been made for after the Second World War. We've also had Netanyahu, who has openly said that there's going to be no ceasefire. In this whole arena, when more than 8,500 people have been killed, a majority of them including children, what is going to be the scenario as far as Palestine is concerned, as far as Gaza is concerned? Does the world pay any heed to that, or will the world be further divided or polarized into communities or groups as far as even the massacre of innocent people is concerned? We've been joined by Brigadier Shahid Jagir. He's a senior analyst inside the studio. Sir, thank you very much to have joined us.
You're very kind.
When you look at the impacts of this war, and not call it a conflict, it is a war that Israel has imposed on Palestine, on the hapless people of Gaza. What are the consequences of this conflict or this war in financial terms, in economic terms, in humane terms? And will the world do anything if it deteriorates further in the coming days?
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Thank you very much for inviting me. First of all, I would say that the dawn of first quarter of 21st century, where it seems the world is technologically very advanced. We have gone beyond the moon. Communication technology has advanced a lot, which has made the human life very comfortable, railroad network and all. But on the other hand, we see that the dawn of first quarter of 21st century is seeing the humanity being relegated at every terms. And especially after this problem which occurred in Gaza, we see that the driving force of the rule-based New World Order is portraying to the world that there is no humanity, there is no human rights, there are no war ethics, there are no sympathies for the children, there are no sympathies for the people, those who have been wounded by the shelling in the war. There is no humanity for the children's and the ladies which are there in the war zone. That is what bothering to the people to think that where we are heading to, where with the 21st century will head to. One. Second, the world is seeing that, as you have very rightly said in your introduction, that the world is divided into two halves. One is which are saying that it's a barbarity which is being committed by the Israel, and the other are which are supporting it. And those who are supporting it, they are the driving force of the rule-based world order which they propagate. So, there is a likelihood that there, if this dispute does not settle down and exaggerates the overall the humanity of the world at this time will suffer in a big war, you can say. Second, as you have very rightly said, that we need money for second pandemic and the climate change and development work and to do something good for the humanity of the future for our children. How it is possible when the world is involved in two wars, one against Russia and other against the Palestinians. The third is, right of self-determination is going on in Kashmir. So, out of these disputes, yes, the military industrial complex of the West will gain, because obviously,
it is gaining,
obviously they will gain, because weapons which are produced, the ammunition which is being produced, this will be used, they will earn money, and you have seen the word in case of war with Russia. The whole Europe has discarded its old weapon system by giving it to Ukraine. May it be the Leopard tank, may it be the guns, may it be the ammunition, may it be the aircrafts. They have just, there were scraps which were given over there.
Brigadier Shahid Jagir, in this whole era where priorities have changed, and the priorities are towards conflicts that are emanating in the world, whether it be Palestine, whether it be Ukraine. Don't you also feel there is another polarization that is happening, that between the governments and the peoples? You see in many of the Western countries that are openly supporting Israel, the people are not supporting the government. They are coming out on the streets, whether they be in the United States, whether it be in Europe, and are siding with the Palestinians. There is also a huge Jewish community that is siding with the Palestinians. opinions. In this time when you see more and more polarization happening, do you feel also that the governments also fear a change when the next elections happen in their respective countries, and is that going to pressurize them some way?
Look, what are you homing on is basically the make and type of the human being. Human being wants that we should live in a peaceful environment. Unlike animals, we are the social, more socially, we live together. I have been to America, I have seen that there is no problem with the Jews, Muslims and Christians, not you will see even in Pakistan, not even in other part of the country. It is the opinion makers and as I said, the rule based world order driving force. The countries which are the driving force of the rule based world order, at one end they tell to the world and all the countries that the rule should be observed, international rules should be observed. But on the other, today we see that the United Nations Security Council pass a resolution and it is not effective. The one who is aggressor, there are 2 aircraft carrier standing behind him, the biggest carriers of the US Army. The Navy of the England is there, and all the support is being given to go ahead with the massacre they want to in Gaza, in which in the history of the world, in the history of warfare, at least I have never, no book has gone through my eyes where the hospitals have been targeted deliberately. The women have been targeted, children have been targeted. No, this is their ethics of a combat. International law of war does not allow this thing. But who is there to stop when the world's biggest power is at the back of the aggressor, and they say that anyone who will come in between will be wiped off. So we have to take measures to at least address this thing at the highest form as the Pakistan is doing.
But what is the highest from your point of view? When you yourself say that the United Nations, when the resolution is passed, nothing happens as a consequence of it. I asked you about the bridge that is now widening between the people and the government as a result of this conflict. How do you also see, the widening of gap between, say, those countries that believe in the rule of law, those countries that believe in humanity and human rights as well, and those who blatantly support Israel?
Look, please don't mind it, but I, after having seen last 20 days of the war, the humanity or human rights are very relative terms now. For the West and the US, the human rights are different. For the East, Far East and others, the human rights are different. So here comes the dividing line. If the human rights would have been taken equally, the issue has not gone so far. You have blocked their water, you have blocked their food, you have blocked their oil for the generators to be run in the hospital. So where is the humanity? Where are the human rights? You see the freedom of speech which they talk about. You watch any Western channel today, they give the narrative which is suitable to the driving force of New World Order. On the other hand, you see, I was just before I came over here, I was watching Al Jazeera. The people, the aid workers have been killed in this bombing. 40 or 60 aid workers have been killed by the Israeli bombing. So where are the human rights? I think we talk we talk in the illusion when we talk of the human rights. Then people, yes, the thinking people, they do talk, because they are not the policy makers. They are not the one like Benjamin Netanyahu, who wants to be in the political power out of this war.
For them, it's a tool, basically. This war is a tool to further gain power,
yes,
to further gain political knowledge.
He does not care that how many Jews or Muslims are killed. Till the time he is in power, he's in the driving seat, it's perfectly fine. And you see, this man was being charged with the corruption and weak governance and all that. Even those hostages which have been released by Hamas, they are talking against the Israeli Prime Minister. So people know it, but people can't do anything. They are protesting all over the Europe. But ultimately this will, one, divide the world on the ethnic lines. Second, it will divide the world on military lines, which is very bad, which is very, very critical for our children.
Or when you talk of things being critical for our children, how do you see this current war, conflict, getting bigger and bigger as time passes, if no solution comes, if there is no ceasefire? We already know of Hezbollah entering the fray. We also have heard rumors of Islamic Jihad entering the fray. Then we also have heard, Israel bombing other countries that are in the neighborhood of Palestine. What happens if it does not stop here? What happens if, God forbid, somebody uses a nuclear weapon? They already are using phosphorus bombs.
Yes, they are already using the phosphorus bomb, which are again against the law of arms conflict. Now, this is what it is. What is said is that war machine is like an orchestra. It is easy to start, but difficult to end. Because in the war, the reaction are played, and every reaction is higher in the ladder. So what you see today, Hezbollah has got involved, okay, and people are worried. OIC is worried. Jordan was in a mood to organize a conference, but they called it off. Qatar and Saudi Arabia and Iran, they are those who are taking it very, very seriously. So the environment are building up when China and Russia, if God forbids they get involved in this, then definitely this will be an uncontrollable event, for disastrous event, I would say, because they are the one, those who have the nuclear weapons, what you talk about. And that is why I said that the biggest aircraft, 2 aircraft carriers which can stay in the water for 25 years, and there has been this is purposefully being done to convey a message. What I say is the dawn of first quarter of 21st century will see human being progressing, or will see the demise of the human being. Humanity, morals, norms, customs, law, rule of law, living together, socializing, this will, is going to end. And ultimately, our children, which type of the world we want to give to our children, whether the child is from America, Europe, Middle East, Africa, Asia, or anywhere else. Are going to give the conflicting world to them, where everyone is born with a disease? In case of this nuclear war? Are we going to give this war to our children where they are dying because of the starvation?
Because there's already issues of food insecurity.
Food and security, and the nuclear war will have its own repercussion on the food and agriculture security.
Whose role becomes then important? If the United Nations cannot work on its resolutions on Palestine because there is a veto power, then who should we look forward to kind of A, bring about a ceasefire, B, implement the two-state solution?
I think there are 4 or 5 steps which in my humble viewpoint which are needed. One is that all the Muslim countries of the world should get united in the United Nations. They must bear the black stripes from today till the a pause or the ceasefire is achieved. They must keep on hampering the Secretary General that the war should stop. This is the political measures which we can take at the international level. Knock the door of the Court of Justice. Knock the door of the war crime. Then we should, the Muslim countries should start thinking of banning imports from the Western Europe to hurt them till the time this ceasefire is achieved.
But that needs to be something that needs to be collective, not just one or two countries.
One country or two countries cannot do anything. This is not the problem of Palestine, this is not the problem of Pakistan, this is not the problem of Saudi Arabia, this is not the problem of Iran, it is the problem of Muslim Ummah.
True, I agree with you on that. Thank you so very much to have given us your feedback as far as the situation in Israel is concerned. Kindly stay on with us, because of course we have to now talk about another very important topic, and that is the repatriation of the illegal foreigners that were present in Pakistan. The deadline is of course the 1st of November, and that is tomorrow. 31st is already almost finished. So tomorrow all eyes are on the situation as far as the illegal foreigners are concerned, whether they will do as per the needful, or whether there will be issues expatriating them, repatriating them outside of Pakistan. This is going to be, ladies and gentlemen, our second story, and of course we continue to highlight this because since the time the government issued the directives that the 1st of November is the deadline for all the illegal, and I repeat, the illegal foreigners that are present here to leave the country and of course go to their respective countries, but all legally present foreigners are can continue without any issue whatsoever, and that includes Afghans or any other nationality, but all those who are illegally present in Pakistan, the deadline is the 1st of November, that is tomorrow, for them to leave. We will be joined by another guest online. Ziaur Rehman, senior journalist, joins us online. Thank you very much, Ziaur Rehman, to have joined us. Ziaur Rehman, the concerns that were raised recently by the international organization, including the United Nations High Commissioner for Human Rights, regarding the expatriation of Afghan migrants, how do you see those, and how do you see the reaction that came from the Foreign Office?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, you're right that deadline, like tomorrow, deadline will end, and there is the government has prepared itself to expel the undocumented Afghan refugees to back to Afghanistan. And meanwhile, we have seen that various international organizations, including UNHCR, they have appealed to Pakistan not to send them back now, because it is winter there, and there is one earthquake happened in Herat. It will be difficult for them. So, but Pakistan said that we are consistent on our policy. We will not change. We will not change our policy. So it means that from tomorrow, from day after tomorrow, there will be proper action will be taken against the illegal immigrants in the country. Yeah.
All right, Zia, also our caretaker Minister for Interior, Mr. Bukti, has said that the repatriation post the 1st of November will be in a phased manner. How important is it, and how important is it also that Pakistan is going as per the rules and regulations?
Yeah, because I said it, government is consistently saying that we are only taking action against those who don't have any proper legal documents living in the country, and they are saying that we are sparing basically the people who are transit refugees and who has PR card and Afghan citizenship card. We are not we are not arresting them now because one thing is that there is more concern and because when you say that we have 1.7 million illegal residents in the country, so when on the ground it will be happen because it is very difficult to differentiate between the legal and illegal because we don't know which document is legal and which document is illegal. So it happened that sometimes you can detain a refugee with a PR card, and it happens that we receive complaints from various part of the country. But government consistently saying that we are not saying anything to them. Our main target is illegal residents who don't have any legal documents.
All right, Zach, kindly stay online with us. We've also got Brigadier Shahid Jagir Saab in the studios with us. Brigadier Saab, you've heard what Zia Saab had to say as far as, the deadline for the 1st of November is concerned. How do you see that? How important do you feel it is for Pakistan to ask all the illegal foreigners that have been residing here since a very long time to finally leave and finally go to their respective countries? I'm just talking of the illegally present foreigners. Looking at the, the whole situation in Pakistan vis-a-vis its economy, vis-a-vis its security.
I think this is the high time that we must bring all the foreigners in the legal fold of Pakistan. One. Second thing is that no country in the world allow the illegal foreigners to stay in their country. Third, we help the Afghans, especially in the time of their crisis. And we suffered economically, we suffered human lives also. But now this is the time that they should, respond positively to us, that where their country is liberated from the foreign forces, they must go back to their own country. One. Second is that these illegal immigrants are the one. Not all, I would say, but some of them are a source of having contact with the TPP, having known the area, the communication and everything. They are the ones which are the biggest security risk to the country. And presently, when we are in a bad economic and security situation, I think the government has taken a very right decision to repatriate in the first phase all the illegal immigrants, whether they are Afghani or from any other country. This will help ease the the security situation and the burden on the law enforcement agencies. Second, this will help us to improve our economy, because all these illegal immigrants which are living in Pakistan, they are doing some business. So that share of the business will go to the people of the Pakistan. And then, as the Interior Minister has said, that we will decide in the second and third phase that what to be done by the people, those who are registered as
of course, and also we don't know how many will voluntarily leave and how many will still stay despite being illegally present in Pakistan. Zia Saab, how do you see the measures that the government has taken for the voluntary departure of the illegally present foreigners in Pakistan?
So according to the Ministry statement, yesterday they released it, and they said that so far 100,000 refugees have returned voluntarily, after the announcement on October 3rd. The second step, it will be very difficult. It will need more intelligence. It will need more resources to identify first the illegal immigrants, and second, if they are found in any identity theft, because we know that a large number of the illegal immigrants have made the Pakistani documents like passport and CNIC and these things. So I think the second step will be more challenging. Like we need more like ground level intelligence. So it will take more time. Yeah.
All right, Zazab, do you feel we are going as per the norms that have been put forward by the international organizations? Are we satisfying their needs for us to follow these regulations as far as the repatriation of the illegally present foreigners in Pakistan is concerned?
Again, I say that because the government policy is very clear that you work when you do something on the ground, like the police station level. So some reports came from there that okay, like they have arrested someone who have pure card and Afghan citizenship card, or he is basically transit refugee. But I think we've seen that today. I see the clip of the Senior Minister Tukti, and he was clearly saying that he will not allow anyone to harass the documented refugees in the country. So it is a very clear policy, and but it needs to be go down until the local police station level, so the international community and international bodies will be satisfied. Again, UNHCR also mainly talks about the registered refugees, but we have seen that after fall of Kabul, 600,000 refugees came, and a sizable number of them are those who work with the Afghan security forces, NGOs, journalists, and various diplomatic missions in the Afghanistan, and they are waiting for their transit visas. And it's also, I think, because of this takedown, like we have seen that UK has bring one plane these people back to UK. So I think their issue will be also resolved. Like if you go to Samba, it's still of these people who are waiting for their cases for past 2 years. The visa has been expired. Yeah.
All right, Zasab, also, we are seeing more of, remarks regarding the Afghan nationals who are illegally present in Pakistan, but there are many other nationalities who are also illegally present in Pakistan. In your point of view, how does the government plan to address these undocumented foreigners that are not of Afghan origin, and how does the government plan to deal with them post the 1st of November deadline?
Yeah, I would say that our previous government, they didn't take this refugee policy very seriously. In Musharraf time, we have formed an organization called NARA, which was dealing with illegal immigrants like Bengalis and Rohingyas in Pakistan. But after it, we didn't have any proper policy how to deal with these illegal or undocumented people. So I think it is the first step the caretaker government is taking. Issue is that you should have some legal document. You cannot stay without identification. When you go back, you can come on a visa. Issue is that I think it was a need of our, like the leaders have said, that we had a large population, size of population which doesn't have any document. They were living in the gray areas.
All right. Asking the same question, Brigadier Sahab, how do you see the government dealing with the undocumented foreigners that are non-Afghan in origin post 1st of November? It's, post 1st of November is just tomorrow. How do you see the government dealing with it as per the phased manner that Mr. Bukti has talked about?
Look, we are making that facilitation center in which they voluntarily come. Government probably have planned some flights also for their going back to their country, and also the efforts are being made by the local law enforcement agencies that these people, those who are illegal immigrants, they should be identified and respectfully told to go back. The second thing which is very rightly being done is anyone harboring the illegal immigrant will be taken as an alibi to the thing, and whatever the law of the land is, the strict disciplinary action should be taken against him.
Against those who are harboring.
Those who are harboring. Second thing is that there is a system in our police service that all those who are living in the area, they are required to register themselves in the police stations, which used to be an old tradition, but over the period of time we have done away with unofficially. That should be revived.
Okay.
That should be revived. And how many people are living in a house, that should be known, and what are the relationship with of the people living in the house over there. That is one thing. The second thing is that there should be a stringent check on transport for the people, those who are traveling, like railway, like public buses, stands and all.
Even those who have businesses in different parts of Pakistan.
I'm coming on that. The third thing is that the business, you know, we have a business other than the big corporate companies. Our business is a very small level business where we know each other very intimately in a market. So, the merchants should be taken on board. They should be told that they are there for years and years. They should be told to highlight that who are the people, those who have come in the market from the last 20 years. So, if given a dedicated effort, I don't think that this is a problem which we cannot eradicate.
All right.
We can do it.
All right. Now, Rehman sahab, how important is the collaboration from the general public, whether it be any city of Pakistan, as far as highlighting those who are still present, who are illegally present in Pakistan post the 1st of November, regardless of their nationality, and B, how should that cooperation be fruitful for both the public and, of course, for the government of Pakistan? How can that be brought about in such a manner that it is a win-win situation for everyone?
I think without support of people, it is not possible, because it is the people, like the British have said, that when you go to the market people know that who is the older trader in the market, like whether he came 10 years ago or 20 years ago or 40 years ago. Like people know each other very well. I think involving people or making collaboration with them, it is very essential to make such efforts successful. Without people help, it will not be successful.
All right. So, Zasab, do you feel that the public is going to collaborate or cooperate with the government and our security agencies in this regard starting tomorrow? Because I'm sure that everybody has not left, or everybody will not want to leave post the 1st of November, because they have certain interests, nefarious or otherwise, in our country.
I think it is a responsibility of the government and the law enforcement agencies to form some committees, or such, like at a neighborhood level or a town level or district level, in which they can engage the people. So then it could be a proper way. Yeah.
All right. Brigadier Sahab, do you feel Pakistan is complying with the international norms, international regulations, looking at the reaction that came from certain quarters, especially from the United Nations Commission for Human Rights, and of course our foreign officer reacted to that and gave a statement highlighting and giving a very clear outlook of how Pakistan wants to go about it as per the international rules and regulations. How do you see this whole decision taken by our government in the wake of international rules and regulations outlined by human rights organizations and the United Nations?
Tell me one country in the United Nations which allows the illegal immigrants to stay and do the business in any country in the world. There is no country in the world, irrespective of the economic conditions, the economically poorest country does not allow the illegal immigrants to be present there. This is just a propaganda. The forces which wants to see Pakistan crumbling, they are the one, those who are throwing this narrative in the media, print and electronic both. we, as I said, that we have helped our all the people. Pakistan was a gateway during the Afghan Jihad for the international immigrants. But that phase is a history now. Let's now start living according to the rules and regulations, international rules and regulations, and anyone entering Pakistan needs to obey the rules and regulations of Pakistan. And in that, not knowing the rules and regulations is not an excuse. So therefore, it is a high time when we are we have this as a security challenge and this as our economic challenge. We need to take it very seriously and bring it to the logical end, where all the foreigners, illegal foreigners, go back to their countries, because you don't know where they're living, you don't know what they're doing, you don't know what relations they have with the TPP, although there will be very few of them, though illegal.
Who will openly admit also to their affiliation with the TPP.
The fact is that they are involved.
There is proof that has come about as far as the involvement of certain national.
Anyone who is who love to see Pakistan progressing and growing would not deny this fact.
All right. Last question, Zasab, do you feel the road ahead is going to be a long and arduous one, or do you feel things will go smoothly as far as this whole repatriation process is concerned post the 1st of November?
I think the upcoming few months will be more challenging, okay, because it is not easy task. The things we didn't do for past several decades, now what we're doing. We have people in Pakistan which are gathered here for last more than 4 decades. So it is not an easy task; it is a challenging task. But after it will be more like smooth things, and it will be very good for our country.
All right. Thank you very much, Rehman Sahab, senior journalist, to have joined us, and thank you so very much, Brigadier Shahid Jagir Sahab, to have joined us for the second segment as well, and to have looked at the broader outlook of what is going to happen post the 1st of November, the deadline that has been given by the government for all the illegally present foreigners to leave the country. Ladies and gentlemen, the coming days are going to be important for Pakistan and are also going to be important for these illegally present foreigners in Pakistan. I think it's in their interest to also leave the country, because the government has said it quite clearly that it is going to move ahead if with the, of course, action against all those who are illegally present in Pakistan post the 1st of November. It's tomorrow. We will see what's going to happen in the coming days as well. Let's come to our last two stories very quickly. The first and the second, the second last and the last story, both concern the current situation in Pakistan. The first exactly is concerning the pandemics across the world. We've seen COVID-19 in 2019 and still are being impacted by COVID-19, not to the extent as we saw in 2019, 2020, 2021. But there are still cases of COVID-19 that are present there. Now, as per a report by the World Health Organization and the World Bank and other important organizations as well, the world remains ill-prepared for a possible new health crisis or pandemic. This has been reported by the German press agency based on an independent global preparedness analysis that was published today. Now, if the world isn't prepared for any future pandemic that happens, God forbid if it does happen, because there are so many theories circulating in different think tanks about which kind of pandemics could hit the world next. What will happen then? We are already engulfed by the crisis in Palestine, the crisis in Ukraine, and other regional and global crises that are not only impacting the geopolitics and geoeconomics of the world, but also impacting things like food security and economy. So if the world's priorities have shifted towards one angle, how will they take care, or how can they take care of future pandemics? A huge question marks remains as far as what should be done, what needs to be done, and how will it be done if your priorities have changed. Lastly, ladies and gentlemen, we also would like to highlight what has been happening as far as climate change is concerned. We're already seeing it. Just look at Pakistan, smog that is engulfing again Lahore and other areas of Punjab as well. In a little more than 5 years, sometimes in early 2029, the world will likely be unable to stay below the internationally agreed temperature limit for global warming if it continues to burn fossil fuels at its current rate. There is a new study that says this. The study moves 3 years closer the date when the world will eventually hit a crisis and critical climate threshold, which is an increase of 1.5 degrees Celsius since the 1800s. If it moves beyond the 1.5 degrees Celsius, of course, the catastrophes will increase. We've got gulf, we've got floods, we've got earthquakes, we've got so many other events that could happen and endanger the world. We've seen fires as well in different parts of the world, Australia for one, and others as well, and that could exacerbate in the years to come if we don't take care of our environment, if we don't do the needful, if we stop using fossil fuel and burning carbon the way we have been doing. The responsibility, the onus of responsibility, ladies and gentlemen, is on the very important countries that need to take the necessary action, whether it be in the form of taking care of pandemics and preparing itself for any future pandemic, or also to prepare itself to handle climate change and prevent the world from reaching the level where the threshold of increase in temperature goes beyond 1.5 degrees Celsius. COP28 is around the corner in the UAE. Let's hope some tangible results do occur and do happen there as well. And I also hope that the current crisis in the world, especially the crisis in Palestine, also comes to an end, or at least a stalemate through a ceasefire, and then a proper work goes towards finding a solution in the form of the two-state solution that has been in the works for quite some time now. We need world peace. We need an environment where, as my guest said, our children can live in peace, can live in harmony, can live in an environment that is feasible and tangible for them. Isn't this what every family desires? With that, ladies and gentlemen, we come to an end of today's newsroom. We'll see you inshallah tomorrow with new story segments that pertain to us, you and Pakistan. Stay safe. Allah Hafiz.